In endocrine system, one should give emphasis on following aspect: different endocrine glands, their location and structure, hormones, and their source gland, which gland is involved in secretion of which hormone, chemical nature of hormone, whether they are proteins, whether they are glycoproteins, steroids, or amino acid derivatives, and especially disorders which is caused due to hyposecretion, means less secretion of hormone, or hyper secretion, that is more secretion of hormone. Let's see what exactly hormone is. Hormone is a messenger. It's a chemical messenger. Chemical means it belongs to a certain category of hormone. It is a messenger secreted by endocrine gland. Hormones are always secretion of endocrine gland, which are ductless gland. Because such glands are ductless, so they always travel via blood to other body part. The other body part where hormones activity is exposed is called target organ. Target organ is an organ where activity of hormone is exposed. Now, how does control of the secretion of hormone takes place? Hormone secretion is controlled by a mechanism called feedback mechanism, which is of two types: positive feedback mechanism and negative feedback mechanism. Positive feedback mechanism is also called as push mechanism, and this is called as pull mechanism. Suppose in this diagram you can see, in this flow chart, A, there are three alphabets A, B and C. A is a stimulus, B is an endocrine gland, and C is a hormone. In this flow chart, you can see a hormone is secreted from endocrine gland in response to some stimulus. If a stimulus is absent, endocrine gland would not secrete any hormone. Suppose in the uh, presence of some stimulus, endocrine gland secretes a hormone. Hormone will travel via blood. It will go to some organ to perform a specific function. If such functions has performed, now no need of secretion of hormone. In such case, what happens? C acts on that particular endocrine gland to stop its secretion. If hormone secretion is stopped, the feedback is called negative feedback. But if a hormone is needed up to if the hormone secretion is needed in large amount, then operates a positive feedback. This hormone acts on that particular endocrine gland, and in response to C, secretion of C is increased. If secretion of C is increased, it is called positive. If secretion of C is decreased, it is called negative feedback mechanism. So of the two feedback mechanism, most common mechanism is pull mechanism, that is negative feedback mechanism. Here we have given the examples of both negative and positive feedback of hormone. This is negative feedback mechanism. Our blood sugar level, normal blood sugar level is 80 to 120 milligram per 100 ml of blood. 80 to 120 milligram per 100 ml of blood is the normal blood sugar level. This sugar level is increased after taking a carbohydrate-rich diet. When we take large amount of carbohydrate ultimately changed into sugar, glucose, and glucose is absorbed into blood. And when the glucose enters into blood, sugar level is increased. It goes above 120. Then glucose acts as a stimulus. It stimulates beta cells of islets of Langerhans, which is the source gland of insulin hormone. Insulin is released by pancreas because beta cells are a part of pancreas. insulin gets attached to its specific receptor present on the target cell. The most important target cell is liver. When insulin is attached to its specific receptor, the cell membrane of target cell becomes more permeable for glucose. Glucose starts entering into the target cell so that the sugar level is decreased, and when it is achieved to normal, when the normal sugar level is achieved, the further secretion of insulin hormone is inhibited by negative feedback mechanism. Now take the example of positive feedback mechanism. Positive feedback, secretion of oxytocin hormone uh, during parturition, during birth, is a very good example of positive feedback mechanism. During parturition, what happens? Prostaglandin, when the fetus fully develops, prostaglandin is released by fetus, which initiates uterine contraction. Uterine contraction is a stimulus for posterior pituitary. When uterine contraction initiates, it gives a stimulus to posterior pituitary to release this hormone, oxytocin hormone. Oxytocin hormone is also called as birth hormone. Birth hormone. Its function is to increase the rate of uterine contraction, not the initiate. It is initiated by prostaglandin. But further rate of uterine contraction is increased by oxytocin hormone. In response to oxytocin hormone, uterine contraction initiates, and ultimately the fetus, which is attached to the wall of uterus, gets detached and ultimately expelled from uterus. But this event, the event of parturition, which is also called as labor, can occur up to 6 to 12 hours. So for 6 to 12 hours, oxytocin hormone is required. In such case, oxytocin gives a stimulus to posterior pituitary to increase the secretion of oxytocin hormone. This is a very excellent example of positive feedback mechanism. Let's see something about receptors of hormone. Hormone receptors are of two types: extracellular receptors and intracellular receptors. Extracellular receptors, hormones. What is most important for functioning of a hormone is its receptor. The receptor of a hormone is either present on the surface of target cell or inside the target cell. If the receptor is present on the surface of the target cell, such receptors are called extracellular receptors. Water soluble hormones have extracellular receptors. This hormone, because they are not lipid soluble, they are water soluble, they cannot enter into the target cell. So its receptors are present on outside the surface of cell. But lipid soluble hormones can cross the lipid bilayer of plasma membrane. So their receptors are present on inside. They are either present on cytoplasm or on the nucleus. Steroid hormones, those hormones which are derivative of cholesterol, have cytoplasmic receptors. Only thyroxine have nuclear receptors.